So if you're watching this video, then you might be wondering or thinking about starting a career in tech in 2026. So you may be asking yourself, should I become a software engineer or a data analyst? It's a huge decision, and there's no one size fits all answer. But after working in both software engineering and as a data analyst, I'm going to break it down for you. And by the end of this video, you'll have a clear picture of which path might be best for you based on what really matters. So what sparked me to make this video is I get asked all the time by people from the outside, my friends or different people I come in contact with, and then also by people on my current data analytics team. They always ask me, do you miss software engineering? Do you wish you could go back? So I'm going to make this video if you're struggling between something on the data analytics side and the software engineering side. I'll break down both sides, my experience, and help you decide on which path you want to take. So first, I'm going to start with software engineering. So being the software engineer means that you're going to be building things like websites, apps, backend systems, APIs, and more. Here's what's great about this path in 2026. You have high salaries. Even entry-level software engineers have high salaries attached to them, especially if you score something like a FANG or any type of big tech company type of role. Next thing is skill depth. So you'll get to learn things like data structures, algorithms, system design, and scalable architectures. Another thing about this side is you'll have global opportunities. Tech companies all over the world are hiring software engineers. But yes, with all good things, there is a catch. And the catch is that software engineering is super competitive. You'll need strong coding skills, problem solving skills, and a portfolio to land your first role. The learning curve is steep. Mastering a programming language, becoming an expert in that specific area, working with frameworks, testing, design patterns, those type of skills are not ones that you can just pick up in a week or two. Normally they take years to master. And another thing is not every engineer gets exposure to business impact, especially earlier on in your career. You might just get handed features to write and you'll just literally sit there and write them and not know how it affects the company's goals or business bottom line whatsoever. Sometimes you don't even see your feature in production. So if you love building, coding, and solving deep technical problems, software engineering is amazing, but it definitely requires commitment and persistence. So now let's talk about data analytics. Data analysts are all about understanding data and turning that into actionable insights. And now I'm going to give you why it is attractive in 2026. Unlike software engineering, there is an easier entry. You can start off with things like SQL or SQL, however you want to pronounce it, the querying language, Excel, and some type of data visualization tool like Tableau or Power BI. And that can get you a job faster than coding your way into software engineering. It took me years to learn code and coding well enough to even be able to speak at a deeper level of it, where things like SQL, Excel, and data visualization, those are things that are easier to kind of get into and learn how they work and how to actually do things with them. So you have a high business impact as a data analyst, and you can influence decisions across marketing, product, and even finance. So a really great thing, and what I've gained probably the most as well from being a data analyst, is you learn versatile skills. So there's a bunch of ways that you can go, where software engineering, you usually go, junior, mid, senior, staff, and then you have like some really prestigious levels that are kind of hard to get in certain places. With data analytics, you can go into data engineering analytics engineering, or product roles later on. If you want me to do a video on these different types of data roles, let me know in the comments and I can make that video. But here are the trade-offs from going into data analytics, right? Some roles may pay less than software engineering initially. Technical depth is narrower, so if you want to build systems, data analytics alone might feel limiting. But I'm also going to give you a little peek behind the scenes. If you are not working for a startup or some smaller company as a software engineer, especially entry level, most of the time you will not be building systems anyway. You're going to be doing little mundane tasks to kind of build up your skill set and be mentored by someone more senior, and you really don't get those type of opportunities till you're mid to senior level as far as like building out a lot of real systems like kind of by yourself or on your team. Obviously this varies from company to company, but just keep that in mind. But if you like solving problems, analyzing trends, and communicating insights, it can be incredibly rewarding and strategically positions you for the future. So now I'm going to give you my perspective on both sides and both of these worlds. I've worked as a software engineer in my previous role. I'm currently a senior data analyst, and I've been doing this for about 4 years. And previously, I was coding and in software engineering for around the same time of 4 years. So I've seen both sides, and both sides are evolving. So as a software engineer, I love building things, but sometimes I did feel removed from the actual business decisions. That's why I do my data analyst work for my 9 to 5. And then after I actually, not right after, but after or off hours, I will code my own projects and things that I like. So I still get that fix from building things. But during my day-to-day, I am a part of the decision-making process. As a data analyst, you can see the impact of your work pretty instantaneously, and you're able to analyze trends, optimize processes, and influence decisions to decision makers. What I realized is this: data analysts are often more closer to the business strategy, while software engineers are closer to the technical execution. That means your decision really depends on what you enjoy more: building and coding, which would take you down the software engineering route, or understanding problems, guiding decisions with data. That's going to be data analytics. If you're someone like me that can't really decide, then you can do a combination of both like I do. But even in my data analytics role, there have been opportunities for me to build smaller scale applications to be able to aid my analytics team in their day-to-day functions and duties. Maybe I'm just privileged in that sense, but I wouldn't say there is no opportunity to kind of build things in data analytics. So here's how I would make my decision if I were starting again today. Ask yourself what excites you: building software or analyzing data. Consider your learning style. Software engineering requires a long ramp up, and I mean a long ramp up. Think about your career flexibility. Data analytics often gives you a smoother pivot into software engineering later. Look at demand. So in 2026, both roles are growing, but data roles can be easier to break into initially, especially if you're earlier on in your career. And here's a tip: you don't have to pick for forever. Most people can start in data analytics to get their foot in the door, and while they're learning, coding and software engineering principles, they do their data analytics work and then later pivot to software engineering. It's a good thing to be able to bring up in interviews that you understand the business and you understand the customer or user side very deeply and the data behind it, and also being able to build systems and do those types of really technical and deep work as well. So having experience in both definitely gives you a massive edge. So should you become a data analyst, software engineer in 2026? It really just depends on what excites you, how fast you want to actually get into tech. So if you love building things and it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get into tech and you really want to become a software engineer, go that route. It's just going to take you a lot longer. If you love more of the business side and being able to influence technical decisions, go with data analytics, and you can always pivot either side. I'm proof that you can definitely pivot one way from software engineering to data analytics, but something might be coming in the future where I actually pivot the other way. We'll see. But what I can say is whether or not you choose one or the other, it gives you a edge in either case from being on both sides of these roles. You will become a game changer either way. As long as you continue to learn, continue to solve problems, you'll be fine. So leave me a comment. Which one are you going for in 2026? Do you want to be a software engineer? Do you want to be a data analyst? Or do you want to be one of those other data roles or another role? Put it in the comments. Let me know. If you guys want me to go over more roles that you could possibly get into, let me know. Love, peace, and chicken grease. I'll see you on the next one.